Fangyi is our newest 6-star electric DPS that does insane amounts of damage in a very wide area of effect, which makes her a must-pull from a meta perspective because she does not rely on other premium units like your Berta for crowd control capabilities, and her cost to play in terms of teammates is extremely low, meaning that you can clear even the most difficult content with her easily accessible team composition that I've been using for a while now, including Perlica, Arknights, and Antal. In today's video, I'm going to break down Fangyi's kit to make it very easy to understand how she works, best build, teams, and then I'll cover the rotations for her more easily accessible team composition. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
All the arrows within us. You can't escape this. I shall sweep the rest. Perfect is this wind. You have a strike. I shall sweep the rest. Target locked.
Battle skill. Her skill will always consume any electrification on an enemy and create these green swords that you see on the ground, known as Thunderblades. And after these Thunderblades are created, each one will deliver a thunder strike that deals damage in a very wide area of effect. So the more Thunderblades you have on the ground, the more damage Fangyi can do when you use her skill. She can have a maximum of 9 Thunderblades on the ground, which you can always visualize with this indicator on your screen. And each Thunderblade lasts for 36 seconds with your own separate timers. The number of Thunderblades created is always 1 plus the number of electrification stacks consumed. So if I had 2 electrification stacks on the enemy, 3 Thunderblades will be created. And if no electrification exists on an enemy, when the skill was used, 1 Thunderblade will be created. Keep in mind that the more stacks of electrification consumed, the more energy she gets for her ultimate, and I'll show you how to get the ultimate back up in the rotation section of this video. She also has this passive that gives her an 18% chance to ignore all incoming damage if she has 9 Thunderblades on the ground. This can come in quite handy so that you can tank some few incoming damage while spamming attacks. Combo skill. Being able to stack electrification seems weird because whenever you apply electrification on an enemy, it always refreshes the old one. But that's where Fangyi's combo skill comes in. To activate her combo skill, you need to perform a final strike on an enemy with an electric infliction. Activating the combo skill will consume all electric stacks to create an equal number of electrification stacks on the enemy. So if you already had 1 electrification on the enemy applied by Perlica, for example, all the number of electrification that was converted from the electric infliction will be added to the electrification applied by Perlica. Keep in mind that the more electric infliction converted into electrification, the more energy she gets for her ultimate as well. Ultimate. Using her ultimate will put her in a special state where the cooldown on her combo skill becomes 4 seconds instead of the default 17 seconds. In this state, using her combat skill will always apply 1 stack of electric infliction on the enemy. So all you need to do is battle skill, basic attack, and use a final strike on an enemy to activate the combo skill, which will convert the electric infliction from her skill into electrification, and then use the skill to consume the electrification to do more damage. Keep in mind that the first skill that she can use in the ultimate state will not consume any electrification or SP, but all the available Thunderblades on the ground will do their respective damage. Build. Her weapon is a must-have since she's a DPS unit. The R0 version of her weapon was used as a baseline for the performance calculations. At max refinement of her weapon, you should expect an increase in DPS of about 20%. If you cannot get her weapon for any reason, the Battle Pass weapon, Flickers in the Mist, is her best alternative. At no refinement, it reaches about 75 to 80% DPS of her signature weapon at R0, but when it's fully refined, you should expect a DPS of about 85 to 90% of her signature weapon at R0. She doesn't have other decent alternatives aside from these weapons, so be sure to keep that in mind. For her essence, if you're using her signature weapon, prioritize a 5-star one with Will Boost, Attack Boost, and finally, Suppression, which increases the buffs from her signature weapon passive. For her gear, best in slot will be Zero Flow for high damage output. The armor should be Zero Flow Light Armor, gloves should be Zero Flow Gloves, the first kit should be Zero Flow Baton, and the second kit should be Link Slap because it provides more attack than Zero Flow Baton. But the Zero Flow set will take a while to create with your factory, so you can mix and match pieces like 2 Link Slaps in the kit section, Pulsar Lab Gloves, and Bone Crusher Poncho T1 in the meantime until you can get your hands on the 3-piece Zero Flow set. Team options. Her cost-effective team that will demolish any endgame is Perlica to apply additional electrification, Arknights for SP recovery and to boost electric damage dealt by all teammates, and finally Antal to amplify electric damage and provide electric susceptibility. Teams that feature Arknight can be an issue since Arknight needs to use her battle skill 3 times to remove electrification before the whole team can get the boost in electric damage that they can do. But having P6 reduces it to 2 times, so P6 Arknight is highly recommended. If you don't have P6, you can just skip the part of the rotation that requires you to use the skill 2 times. Now let's modify this team comp with other teams that you may have on your account. You can replace Antal with Alesh for SP recovery, which ensures smooth rotations, but the damage output will be low. You can replace Alesh or Antal with Gilberta to significantly boost Fangyi's damage output due to the crazy amount of art susceptibility that Gilberta can provide. Gilberta can be replaced with Ardelia for art susceptibility, and finally, Ardelia can also be replaced with Aviwena to fill in and do damage during Fangyi's ultimate downtime. These are the teams that I can think of, but if you have any other team options in mind, be sure to leave them down in the comment section below. With that said, I'm gonna cover the rotation for Fangyi, Perlica, Arknight, and Antal. Here are the builds that I'm running on all teammates. Fangyi will be on a level 1 weapon because I don't want to kill the boss too early.
Ready to go.
I am trying to.
I'll be putting shorthand words like FS, CS, and BS on screen to show you guys the rotation sequence, so this is what they mean in case you're confused later on. Since endgame modes in Enfield starts you off with 0 energy, I'm gonna spam all my ultimates so that we can begin from scratch. You first start by using Perlica's skill twice to apply 2 electric stacks and Final Strike to trigger Fangyi and Perlica's combo skill for you to use. If Fangyi's combo skill comes before Perlica's, press your combo skill buttons very quickly so that Perlica's combo skill applies electrification before Fangyi's combo skill hits the enemy, or else Perlica's single stack of electrification will replace the 2 stacks that you can get from Fangyi. So in simple terms, let Perlica's combo skill hit the enemy before Fangyi's combo skill hits the enemy. Using Perlica's combo skill triggered Arknight's combo skill, so always use it to generate energy. You should have 3 stacks of electrification, so use Fangyi's skill to consume them and regenerate energy. Just keep using Final Strikes to get SP and apply 2 electric stacks on the enemy. Once the second electric stack is applied by Perlica, keep using Final Strikes to trigger Perlica and Fangyi's combo skill. At this part of the rotation, the Final Strike triggered Perlica and Arknight's combo skill for me to use, and when that happens, Final Strike again to trigger Fangyi's combo skill, which also triggers Arknight's combo skill again for you to use. This will give you 3 stacks of electrification, so just like before, use Fangyi's skill to consume it. Arknight's ultimate should be ready after Fangyi's second skill, so you can cast her ultimate and wait for it to apply electrification. When that's done, use Arknight's skill to consume the electrification stacks, which triggers her combo skill again for you to use to give her energy. Final Strike with Fangyi to trigger Perlica's combo skill to apply electrification, which will trigger Arknight's combo skill again for you to use. The next Final Strike will trigger Fangyi's combo skill, but before we use it, we need to apply 2 stacks of electric on the enemy with Perlica. Using Fangyi's combo skill will trigger Arknight's combo skill again for you to use, which gives her energy to use her ultimate again. And it's important that you don't skip any Arknight's combo skill because we need it for energy recovery since her ultimate needs to be used twice per rotation. You should have 3 stacks of electrification on the enemy now, so use Fangyi's skill to consume it, which triggers Arknight's combo skill again for you to use. At this stage, don't use any combo skills. Use Antao's skill to apply focus, and the energy that you get from Antao's skill will fully fill Arknight's energy to use her ultimate. Keep using Final Strikes until Arknight's ultimate applies electrification on the enemy, and then use Arknight's skill to remove the electrification, which will now grant the team-wide electric damage boost from her passive. We are done with the preparation phase, so let's begin with the damage phase of the rotation. Cast Antao's ultimate, Perlica's ultimate, and before I could cast Fangyi's ultimate, the enemy entered the second phase, so I used Fangyi's ultimate in the second phase. Cast Perlica's skill to apply electric stack and use Fangyi's skill to create more Thunderblades. Perlica's skill will trigger Antao's combo skill for you to use, which also applies another electric stack on the enemy. Final Strike with Fangyi to get Fangyi's combo skill. I kept dodging here because I didn't have any gear for defense. The Final Strike will trigger Fangyi and Perlica's combo skill, so use them in quick succession as I explained earlier to get 4 stacks of electrification, and then use Fangyi's skill to consume all electrification stacks and do more damage. Perlica and Antao's combo skills should be on cooldown now, so we're not going to get any outside electric infliction. So from there, Final Strike with Fangyi to trigger her combo skill and use the combo skill to convert the electric stack from her skill into electrification, and then use her skill to consume the electrification stacks to do more damage, and then rinse and repeat until her ultimate state ends. Feel free to modify the rotation with different team compositions based on your personal preference, but this should give you a general idea of the conditions that you need to satisfy to do the highest damage. Her early potentials don't provide any significant quality of life change like other 6-star premium units that I've covered on the channel so far, so you'll be fine without sequences. However, if you want to double down but not too deep, P3 is my best recommendation because it reduces the SP cost of her battle skill by 10%. So it allows you to spam it more often in her ultimate form, and you don't have to worry about losing Thunderblades on the ground due to their 36 seconds duration, because P3 prolongs it to 46 seconds. That'll be all for my Fangyi character breakdown. I accept donations in the form of likes and subscribers. Our Discord link will be in the pinned comment if you're having any issues with Enfield or you just want a place to chill or hang out.